Welcome to your deep dive.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Today, I love a good deep dive.
Yeah, and today we're diving into the heart of India.
Really fascinating place.
It is, and we're going to be exploring its industries and its social structures and the lives of everyday people.
Lots of things.
We've got a really fascinating mix of sources, documentaries, travel vlogs.
Oh, wow.
Even discussions on social issues.
Okay, so we've got a good mix.
Yeah, our mission.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
To uncover those unexpected connections and surprising realities that make India so captivating.
I think one of the most interesting things about India is how it embodies this paradox of, booming economic growth alongside this persistent poverty. The NDVR documentary highlights this, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. The fact that India is now third globally in the number of billionaires.
That's crazy.
I know. Well, 400 million people still live in poverty.
Wow.
That's a jarring contrast.
It is.
And it makes you wonder, how do people navigate such extremes?
That's where the concept of jugaad comes into play. It's not just resourceful problem solving. It's almost a way of life, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's like ingrained in their culture.
Yeah.
In The Humans, Rohan, the restaurant owner, talks about how jugaad is essential for dealing with bureaucracy and getting things done.
Interesting.
What I found fascinating was his comparison of individualistic Western culture with the deep-rooted family ties in India.
Right.
He mentions how families often live together even after children are married.
Oh, wow. So different from our culture.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah, that emphasis on family and community really shines through in many of the sources. And it makes me wonder, how does this strong family structure impact those facing economic hardship?
Oh, that's a great question.
Does it act as a safety net, or does it create additional burdens?
Well, and speaking of economic realities, we can't ignore the informal economy.
Right.
Where a staggering 90% of workers operate off the books.
Oh, wow.
Welcome to India Part 1 paints a vivid picture of this.
I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah. It's remarkable how this informal sector contributes 2/3 of India's GDP.
Wow, that's a huge amount.
It is. It's like this hidden engine driving the economy.
Really?
Fueled by ingenuity and hustle.
You have to have that, I think, to survive.
I think so, too.
Especially in a place like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The documentary introduces us to some incredible individuals working in this sector.
I want to hear about them.
Okay. Yeah, Carrie. The gold sweeper.
Okay.
Meticulously extracting tiny gold particles from city drains.
Oh, wow.
Using mercury and nitric acid.
Oh!
It's almost alchemical.
That's intense.
And his ambition to break free and work independently.
Okay.
What does that tell us about the aspirations of those in the informal economy?
It speaks to a desire, I think, for autonomy and a belief in one's ability to succeed, even when working within a system that often lacks formal structures.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then there's Jora, the plastic bottle recycler.
Okay.
Who uses family connections and sharp business acumen to expand her enterprise.
Good for her.
She's even considering moving into plastic shredding for higher profits.
Oh, wow. Okay. So she's thinking ahead.
She is.
That's good.
And all of this is happening within this incredibly vibrant and at times chaotic urban landscape.
Yes.
The travel vloggers, Shev and Dev, perfectly capture this sensory overload.
Oh, those are always fun to watch.
They are. They're blown away by the sheer energy of Chandni Chowk Market in Delhi.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The constant honking, the crowds, the colors, the smells.
What a combination.
It's a lot. It's a lot to take in.
It's interesting, though.
Yeah, it is. But then it's a stark contrast to the observations made by a small-brained American.
Okay.
Who's much less enthusiastic. Yes, particularly about the pollution and trash. It raises an interesting question.
Yeah.
How do different cultural backgrounds and expectations shape our perception of a place like India?
It's so true.
Right.
I mean, if you go in thinking one thing, you're going to experience it very differently.
Yeah.
And if you go in open-minded.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
His reaction, while extreme, does make you think about those contrasting realities.
Yeah.
You have the pristine cleanliness of temples.
Oh, right.
Alongside the overwhelming pollution in other areas.
Wow.
It's like two sides of the same coin.
Interesting.
And yet even small-brained American is touched by the genuine hospitality he encounters, the local family taking him to a temple. It speaks to the warmth and kindness that often shines through despite the challenges.
There are a lot of challenges, though.
There are.
From what I've heard.
Yeah, and speaking of challenges, Welcome to India Part 1 introduces us to Sabita, a woman living on an illegally occupied Mumbai beach.
Oh, wow.
Her determination to send her daughters to a good school,
okay,
even in that precarious situation, is truly inspiring.
That's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
Her story also hints at the enduring presence of the caste system in India.
Right.
Even though it was officially abolished,
Yeah.
it continues to impact people's lives and opportunities in subtle yet profound ways.
It's so ingrained in the culture, isn't it?
It is, and it's something that Saji Sharma delves into in his video essay on online racism.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he uses his personal experiences to illustrate the realities of classism and internalized racism,
Okay.
which are unfortunately still very much present.
Sadly.
Yes.
Yeah.
He makes a very poignant observation about how deeply ingrained the caste system is.
Mm-hmm.
For some communities, their caste name itself is considered a slur.
Oh, wow.
While others carry surnames that signify a legacy of privilege.
Right.
It's a stark reminder of the deep inequalities that persist.
Absolutely. And, he doesn't shy away from discussing South Asian racism either.
Yes, he does.
Which is fueled by colorism and classism.
It is. And he even shares an anecdote about bullying another South Asian student.
Oh, wow.
To fit in with the cool kids during his childhood.
Oh, that's sad.
It is, yeah.
But it's so common, isn't it?
It is.
That need to fit in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a complex issue that's often overlooked.
Right.
Particularly when we talk about online racism.
Right.
This internalized racism stemming from competition for resources and opportunities within a system that already marginalizes them.
Absolutely. It's a conversation we need to have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And his analysis of how online anonymity emboldens people to express more blatant racism is fascinating.
It makes sense, though, doesn't it?
It does.
If you feel like you're not going to be held accountable.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Exactly.
It highlights how online spaces can become breeding grounds for prejudice and discrimination.
Sadly.
And it's not just limited to white supremacy.
Right.
It happens between people of color as well.
Yeah.
Often stemming from this sense of competition within a system that already marginalizes them.
It's a very complex issue.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating how he connects this to the historical solidarity between South Asians and African Americans.
Okay.
Pointing out that the NAACP supported Indian autonomy during their struggle for independence.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It reminds us that there's a shared history of oppression and resistance that transcends geographical boundaries.
Right. They're fighting the same system in a way.
Yeah. Now, shifting gears to another topic Sharma touches upon.
Okay.
The Aryan invasion theory.
Oh, yeah. Big one.
Big one. It's a theory with deep political implications.
Definitely.
Often used to justify everything from colonialism to Hindu nationalism.
Right. Wow.
Mohak Mangal, in his video, Who Are Indians? Aryan Invasion Theory Explained, provides a really insightful breakdown of this complex subject.
Okay. I'm interested to hear this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He explains that the observation of linguistic similarities between Sanskrit and European languages led to the proposition that an Aryan race migrated from Central Asia to India, bringing Sanskrit and the Vedas with them.
Interesting.
And of course, the British colonizers readily embraced this theory.
Of course they did.
Using it to legitimize their rule.
Right.
By suggesting that Indians themselves were descended from invaders.
Oh, wow.
As a counter-narrative, the out-of-India theory emerged, particularly popular with the Hindus, right?
Right.
Claiming that the Aryans originated in India and migrated outward, spreading their culture.
Interesting.
But Mangal emphasizes that recent genetic studies challenge both of these extreme viewpoints.
Okay.
The genetic makeup of modern-day Indians is far more complex than either theory suggests.
So it's probably somewhere in between.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It turns out there were multiple waves of migration into India.
Okay.
With the Aryan migration being just one of them.
Right.
And importantly, the evidence suggests it happened well before the collapse of the Indus Valley civilization, debunking that common misconception that the Aryans caused its demise.
That's a big misconception to debunk.
It is. It is. Right. So while the Aryan invasion theory remains politically charged, understanding the nuances of genetic evidence is crucial to move beyond simplistic narrative.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't just look at one piece of evidence.
No.
You have to look at the whole picture.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a reminder that history is rarely black and white.
So true. So true.
Speaking of nuanced perspectives, the YouTube channel Open Letter doesn't hold back in their critique of modern Indian society.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Their video, Why India is So Mediocre, is quite provocative.
Wow, that's a strong statement.
It is. Yeah. They raise concerns about what they perceive as a mediocre mindset.
Okay.
A lack of civic sense, reckless driving, disregard for rules, prioritizing show-off over safety and quality.
Those are some pretty serious accusations.
Yeah, they even quote Sebastian Vettel.
The race car driver?
The race car driver.
Wow.
Who described Indian roads as an organized mess.
Well, he would know.
He would know.
He's driven on a lot of roads.
Exactly. It's harsh.
Yeah.
But it reflects a certain perspective.
It does, yeah. I mean, while their critique might seem harsh, I think it's important to understand where they're coming from.
Right.
They're essentially arguing that despite India's progress, certain cultural and societal norms are holding the nation back.
They touch on the preference for foreign brands, the prevalence of piracy, and the obsession with government jobs as a status symbol.
Oh, wow.
Even if it means years of pursuing a secure but potentially unfulfilling career.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's a different mindset.
It is.
Than what we have here.
It is. It makes you think.
It does.
How do we balance recognizing the criticisms while appreciating the incredible resilience and ingenuity we see in other areas?
That's the key, isn't it?
I think so.
Recognizing that India is a nation undergoing a massive transformation with both progress and challenges.
Yeah.
And it's precisely that dynamic tension that makes it so fascinating.
Exactly. And sometimes those challenges manifest in the most unexpected and humorous ways.
Oh, I love those.
I know.
Yeah.
Like in Shev and Dev's vlog, where they try to navigate the organized chaos of Delhi's streets.
I can imagine.
It's exhilarating and overwhelming all at once.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Their rickshaw ride through the city is a perfect example.
It is.
It captures the essence of that sensory overload. The honking, the crowds, the street vendors, the sheer vibrancy of it all.
It's a lot.
It's a crash course in Indian street life.
Yeah, and then you have Backpacker Ben,
Okay.
who embarks on this hilarious quest to find a famous street food vendor in Kolkata. A journey that turns into a chaotic adventure.
I bet.
He eventually ends up meeting the vendor's son.
So he didn't even find the right guy.
He didn't find the right guy.
Oh.
But he found the son. Persistence and a little bit of luck.
And that's what it takes.
That's what it takes. That's India for you.
Yeah.
It's a lighthearted reminder that when traveling in India, adaptability and embracing the unexpected are essential.
Yeah, you can't go in with a rigid itinerary.
No, you have to go with the flow.
You have to be able to adjust.
Yeah. These vlogs, while entertaining, offer a glimpse into the everyday realities of life in India.
And that brings us to Bollywood.
Yes.
Another facet of Indian culture that reflects this complexity.
Yeah.
The documentary, Can Bollywood Shine a Light on Mumbai's Underbelly? Explores the potential of Bollywood films to address social issues. And represent those often unseen realities of life in India.
We meet Prakash, an aspiring actor working as a cleaner on a luxury yacht. His story juxtaposes his dreams with the harsh realities he faces.
Right.
Highlighting the gap between aspiration and opportunity for many young Indians.
It's interesting how Bollywood is kind of like a reflection of society in a way, isn't it?
It is. It raises an important question.
Yeah.
Can Bollywood, with its massive reach and influence, play a more meaningful role in representing the lives of everyday Indians?
Right. I mean, it has so much power.
It does.
To really make an impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially those often marginalized or overlooked by mainstream media.
Absolutely.
And this issue of representation is something Saji Sharma critiques as well.
Okay.
Pointing out the lack of nuanced portrayals of regular Indians in both Indian and foreign media.
Right. It's always the same stereotype.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
He criticizes the reliance on outdated and potentially harmful stereotypes.
Right.
Highlighting how media representation matters.
It really does.
Yeah. Seeing yourself reflected in popular culture can have a profound impact on how you perceive yourself and your place in the world.
Absolutely.
It makes you wonder, how can we encourage more diverse voices and perspectives within the Indian media landscape?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Economic disparities.
Yes.
The ingenuity of the informal economy. The complexities of family and tradition.
Yeah.
And the ongoing challenges of social issues and representation.
Absolutely.
It's clear that India is a nation of contrasts and contradictions.
It is.
Where ancient traditions coexist with modern aspirations, where extreme poverty sits alongside booming industries, and where the human spirit shines through despite the many challenges.
So well said.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
I know, this is only part 1.
Stay tuned for part 2.
Yes.
Where we'll delve deeper into some of the unique industries and cultural practices that make India so captivating. Me too. Welcome back to our deep dive into the heart of India.
Okay, so let's unpack one of the most visually striking industries we encountered. Shipbreaking.
Well, yeah.
Welcome to India doesn't shy away from the gritty reality of it all.
No, it's pretty intense.
It is.
Yeah.
Along, often called the world's largest ship graveyard.
Wow.
Is where this industry unfolds.
That's a powerful image.
It is. It's a place where massive vessels go to die and be reborn as scrap metal.
Wow, it's almost like a reincarnation of sorts.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We meet Kanye, a worker who risks his life daily dismantling these colossal ships for a meager wage.
Oh, gosh.
It's dangerous, backbreaking work.
It really is.
The documentary shows the cramped and unsafe conditions, the ever-present threat of accidents.
I can't even imagine.
And yet, amidst these harsh realities, there's a sense of pride and resilience among the workers.
You have to admire that.
You do.
Yeah.
Kanye dreams of sending his daughters to school. The dream fueled by his work in this shipbreaking yard.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is.
Yeah.
His story highlights the lack of options for many in India.
Right.
Even dangerous jobs like this can become a path to a better life.
Right, it's all relative, I guess.
It is a way to provide for their families.
And that economic reality is a recurring theme, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It makes you think about the choices people are forced to make when survival is at stake.
Absolutely, it's a different world.
It is.
Yeah.
And speaking of industries with a unique flavor.
Okay, this is going to be good.
Let's talk about ASIC and his rather pungent business.
Pungent. Okay, I'm intrigued.
The fat rendering business.
Oh, okay.
Not exactly a dinner table topic.
No, not really.
But Welcome to India Part 2 reveals how even the most unexpected materials can be transformed into valuable commodities.
Interesting, yeah.
ASIC collects huge piles of animal fat, often in conditions that would make most people squeamish.
I can imagine.
And processes it into a product used in everything from soap to cosmetics.
Wow. I would have never guessed that.
It's definitely not for the faint of heart.
No.
And ASIC himself is a character, a hustler.
Okay.
Always looking to maximize profits, even if it means bending the rules.
Sounds familiar.
The documentary shows the constant challenges he faces, unreliable workers, a fluctuating market for his product.
Oh, that's tough.
And even gangsters demanding protection money.
Oh, wow.
It's a glimpse into the underbelly of the informal economy.
A world most tourists never see.
Exactly.
His story brings up an interesting point about resourcefulness.
Yeah.
ASIC is turning something most people would consider waste into a product with real value.
Yeah.
Does that ingenuity speak to the Jugaad mentality we discussed earlier?
I think it does.
Yeah, it's about finding opportunity where others might see only obstacles.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The documentary points out a connection between ASIC's business and the glamour of Bollywood.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
How so?
Some of the very cosmetics used by actresses in Bollywood films might contain the fat ASIC processes.
Wow, that's an unexpected link.
Yeah.
It really shows how interconnected different sectors of the Indian economy are.
Yeah, and it's not just internal connections. The global economy also plays a significant role in the lives of everyday Indians.
Yeah, how so?
The documentary highlights how the price of gold in the global market directly impacts the earnings of those gold sweepers we met earlier.
Wow. It's incredible how something happening on the other side of the world can have such a tangible effect.
Right.
When the price of gold rises, they see a glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
Knowing their backbreaking work might actually bring in a decent income.
But when the price drops, it's a harsh reminder of their vulnerability.
It is.
Their hard work suddenly feels less rewarding.
Right.
And they're left wondering if they can even cover their basic needs.
It makes you appreciate the precariousness of their situation. How global forces beyond their control can determine their fate.
Absolutely. And that precariousness extends to other aspects of life in India. Welcome to India, Part 1, shows the constant threat of eviction faced by those living on illegally occupied land.
Right.
Savita and her family on the beach in Mumbai are a poignant example.
It's heartbreaking to witness their homes being demolished, their belongings scattered.
It's a stark reminder of the fragility of their existence.
And yet they rebuild time and again.
It's amazing.
They demonstrate this incredible resilience, this unwavering determination to create a home for themselves, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles.
That's the human spirit, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Their story raises complex questions about urban development.
Right.
And the challenges of providing affordable housing in a city like Mumbai, which is bursting at the seams.
Yeah. How do you balance the need for progress and development with the needs of those who are most vulnerable?
Exactly. That's the question. Looking at all these stories, what strikes me is this juxtaposition of incredible drive and resourcefulness against the backdrop of systemic challenges.
It's a constant struggle.
It is.
Yeah.
There's so much ingenuity, a willingness to hustle and innovate, but often those efforts are stifled by poverty, corruption, and lack of basic infrastructure.
You see it with the gold sweepers, the shipbreakers, even Savita and her family. They're all striving for a better life, but the odds are often stacked against them.
It's this constant push and pull, isn't it?
Yeah.
The human spirit yearning for progress, but constantly being held back by limitations beyond individual control.
Exactly.
And amidst this complexity, we see these moments of beauty, kindness, and connection. That remind us of the power of the human spirit.
Yeah, we've seen the grit, the hustle, and the challenges.
We have.
But we haven't touched upon the vibrant cultural traditions and religious practices that weave through the fabric of Indian society.
Oh, we haven't.
Stay tuned for part 3 of our deep dive.
Yes.
Where we'll explore the colorful celebrations of festivals like Durga Puja and Eid al-Adha. And discover how tradition and modernity intertwine in this fascinating nation.
I'm excited for that one.
Mine too.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the heart of India.
You know, it's amazing how festivals in India aren't just celebrations. They're these vibrant expressions of culture and community.
It's true.
Often intertwined with economic activity. Sometimes even involving the darker side of society.
The Welcome to India documentaries really highlight this. Especially during festivals like Durga Puja and Eid al-Adha.
The scale of Durga Puja in Kolkata is simply breathtaking.
Yeah, it's huge.
Entire neighborhoods transform. With these elaborate pandals and stunning idols of the goddess Durga.
And remember Swapan, the fish merchant?
Oh, yeah.
He was so great.
Yeah, he was deeply involved in his neighborhood's pandal construction.
He was.
His ambitious plan to incorporate a stocked pond into the design,
yeah,
hoping to win the hearts of the Bengali people.
I love that.
It's a testament to the passion and dedication people pour into these celebrations.
It really is.
Yeah.
But it's not just about religious devotion, though, is it?
No.
There's a significant economic aspect to these festivals as well.
Absolutely. Everyone benefits from the increased demand.
Yeah.
Fish merchants, flower sellers, idol makers, even the gangsters get involved.
Oh, really?
Offering protection services and demanding a cut of the profits.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a stark reminder that in India, religion, culture, and economics are deeply intertwined.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
Then there's Eid al-Adha, the Islamic festival of sacrifice, depicted as a time for family, feasting, and community spirit.
It's a beautiful celebration.
We see Jora, the plastic bottle recycler, promising her youngest son that he can look after the family cow if he behaves.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It is. Yeah. It's a heartwarming scene that encapsulates the excitement surrounding these celebrations, even for those living in poverty.
Right. It transcends those economic barriers.
It does.
Yeah.
Jora's son-in-law, Tinu, takes the family to a bustling cattle market. Okay.
Where they haggle with traders over the price of a sacrificial animal.
I can just imagine the energy.
Oh, it's pure sensory overload.
Yeah.
A chaotic, energetic glimpse into Indian street life.
And in the end, Eid al-Adha brings everyone together to share a meal and celebrate their faith.
Yeah.
Even Jor and Tinu, despite their business disagreements, put aside their differences and enjoy the festivities.
I love that.
Yeah, it speaks to the unifying power of these celebrations, transcending individual conflicts and bringing people together.
It's a powerful thing.
Yeah.
These festivals offer a glimpse into the soul of India, a place where faith, family, and tradition are interwoven with everyday life.
They provide moments of joy, hope, and connection amidst the challenges and complexities we've explored throughout this deep dive.
So as we reach the end of our journey through India, what are the key takeaways? What's a lasting impression?
For me, it's the resilience and ingenuity of the Indian people.
We've seen them navigate poverty, social hierarchies, and a rapidly changing society.
We have.
We've witnessed their entrepreneurial spirit, their resourcefulness, and their ability to find opportunity in the most unexpected places.
It's true.
Yeah.
We've encountered individuals striving for a better life,
Yeah.
families clinging to hope, and communities coming together to celebrate their traditions.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even amidst chaos and hardship, the human spirit perseveres.
If you had to distill one essential lesson from everything we've explored, what would it be?
I think it's the power of Jugaad. That uniquely Indian approach to problem solving.
Yeah.
It's about finding creative solutions, adapting to circumstances, and never giving up.
Right.
It's a mindset we can all learn from no matter where we are in the world.
And it makes you wonder, how can we apply this Jugaad mentality to the global challenges we face today?
Right.
Can we harness that spirit of innovation and resilience to create a more sustainable and equitable future for everyone?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is. That's a question worth pondering as we conclude our deep dive.
Yeah.
We've only scratched the surface of this complex and fascinating nation.
I know. It feels like we've just begun.
But I hope it sparked a curiosity to learn more.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
And keep it real.